right, and welcome back to another episode of the Kickback Corner with JayBee and Will. We have a special guest today, Maurice. He's been on our show before. He talked to us about eating a plant-based diet and the benefits that does to your body. And before we get started with our topic of the day, we're basically going to be talking about movies and things to watch while we're in this little quarantine situation. One question I do have for you, Maurice, how's that diet going?
It's good, man. It's good. I'm down like 45 pounds right now.
Nice.
Feeling good. I'm eating good. Eating a lot of food.
Feeling better?
Yeah, feeling a lot better. My back still hurts, but all my other ailments are like pretty much gone. It's just my back.
Nice.
But I'm down 45 pounds, so
that's very good. That's very good.
Since January, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Will, how's your diet going?
Good, man. Down about 15 pounds. Mine's good. I got to a plateau state with the same type of diet. So now I'm eating a little bit more, just try to maintain and not like overdo it. And it's funny because last week I was at 148 pounds, and I think it was like 15% body fat almost.
Wow.
And then today I was at 150 pounds and I was at 14.2% body fat. So the weight's going up and the body fat's going down. So that's kind of what I'm trying to achieve at this
You're
point.
not like lifting or anything, or?
I'm doing a very little. I'm lifting 3 days a week with what I have at home right now because I don't have a bench. My bench is at my parents'. So I have a curl bar, and it has those. It's basically a bent bar, so you basically grip it in different ways to curl it. And I'm doing like body weight exercises. Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and that's pretty much it. Not really going on many walks anymore. It's hard to walk when I don't have my dog with me. So.
And it's freaking raining all the time now.
It's raining too, yeah. So. But I'm only working out probably like 20 to 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. Better than what I do.
It helps, man.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm sure.
Well, if you're not exercising or dieting, there's a couple things you can do. There's a couple movies out there where you can definitely check out during this quarantine situation. When we had the discussion on what we were going to talk about, it was, let's try to talk about movies that are maybe off the beaten track, not ones that have been, focused on and critically acclaimed. Maybe something that someone hasn't seen, so you can watch it during this, while you're at home and everything. So, any movies off the top of your guys' heads that you could give the listeners?
I got one. Actually, I got a whole crap load of movies I wrote down. I did write down some of the ones that are like typical,
Okay.
But I'm not gonna really dive into those too much. But so I know we talked yesterday and we thought it was really hard to rate movies because it's easy to rate television shows because you got season after season after season and you have like this big what's the word, like subject matter to go off of to be like, okay, all in all, this is like my favorite show because of this, that, and that. Movie's only typically 2 hours. So I will start with one off the top of my head would probably be Crash.
Okay.
Has either one of you seen it?
Yes.
In that one.
Yes.
Crash, shit, man.
There's a lot of good actors. It was one of those first movies that did well in the box office that wasn't really supposed to. You have like I know Matt Dillon is in it. He's the cop.
He's in it.
You have Don Cheadle, that black actor. He was in Iron Man. He's not the Iron Man, but the other guy, his helper, his buddy.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock's in it.
Yes. There's a lot of
like an action drama. Or?
No. Terrence, it's a race-related movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but is it more on the action? Is it drama? I would say drama, if anything, because there's good storyline and you feel it. It's the feelings attached to it,
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta write Lawrence Tate, Ludacris, Ryan Felipe, Brendan Fraser. A lot of
There's
guys, man.
a lot of good actors. There's a lot of
Yeah.
and they're most of these actors when you see them, you think of certain movies that they've been in and the kind of acting that they did. In this movie, a little bit different. Like some of
Mhm.
these characters, like wow, I didn't know he had it in him. Short, small role, but I didn't
Yeah.
know he had it in him. You know,
Well,
it's a
that's the
good.
crazy.
Go ahead. Go
That's
ahead.
like they're. It's pretty much all of them have a small role. There's
Yeah.
no like main actor. It's like, and it's basically scene to scene to scene in each one of their lives, how they affect each other. You know, like there's like a lot of uh like this person interacts with this person and later this person interacts with this person who the first person interacted with or who the first person knew. So there's a lot of that, and there's a lot of racial like situations going on in it as far as like
I want to look up the poster to see if I've ever seen it.
yeah
Came out
so
like in the early 2000s, right?
2004.
2004. Yeah. I
Uh,
remember. I
I've
remember
seen
when
it.
it came out. Someone told me to watch it. I checked it out. It was good. I enjoyed it.
And it's labeled as an indie film.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an indie film because it wasn't supposed to do well. Like it just caught on. It caught fire a little bit, and they did well with a movie that wasn't the norm back then. Like wow, all these the that critical storyline. It's not just your hero and anti-hero. You had so many different characters and subject lines melding together.
Yeah. And one cool, I mean, there was like a scene in it where who's that first guy? Matt Dillon? Matt.
Matt Dillon,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's a cop, and there's a situation where like he says something to a black lady, I think, and it's kind of comes off as like, was that racist? Like, was it on the borderline of being racist, you know? And late or I don't know if it was a black lady or a black dude, I can't remember, but later in the movie, some lady gets in a car wreck and she's a black lady and he sees she's a black lady and he pulls her out of the wreck, you know, like saves her life. So there's that like balance of like, you know, just like what's really like racial, you know what I mean? It's like how do you define a person by their actions or what they say or so there's it's a really good movie, man. It definitely keeps you more and more engaged as the movie goes on. You don't there's not really a time where you're like shit now it's lagging, you know? It kind
Yeah.
of just picks up momentum and it keeps going.
Okay, I gotta check that out. I mean, got plenty of time right now, so.
What about you, Maurice? Anything off the top of your head?
I mean, I of course have my favorites, but I wanted to mention one. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I honestly think this movie was very, very underrated, and I think it did bad in the box office too. It did really bad. Live by Night. Have you guys seen that?
Whatever.
I don't
Ben
think
Affleck?
I've seen that. Yeah.
No? Oh my God, you guys gotta watch it. Ben Affleck. I think it's like based in like the 1920s, around like the prohibition and like around the mob time, you know, when like the mafia was starting or whatever. Definitely. I mean, like I said, I think it tanked in the box office. Like it didn't really do good. I think they lost money on it, but I really liked it a lot. I really liked it a lot.
It's 2016 released.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
I wonder if that has something to do with Ben Affleck playing some dude in the Roaring Twenties. You know what I mean? Like him as an actor.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly went into the movie thinking that I wasn't gonna like it because I couldn't picture him as a exactly like what you said, like a 1920s like mobster, you know?
Yeah.
And I was blown away by it actually. I mean, I seen it twice in the theater, which I don't do. I never watch movies twice. You know what I mean? So
would you consider it a drama movie, action, or is it
drama, a little bit of action here and there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend you guys check it out. Everybody else check it out too.
Live by Night. I will definitely check that out.
Sure.
I like movies or shows centered around that prohibition time and stuff. Just the outfits, the demeanors and stuff like that. You know, it's just I enjoy it.
And I seen your guys' podcast yesterday and you mentioned Boardwalk Empire.
Yes.
Excellent show. That's probably my number two. Probably my number two.
Yeah. What's your number one if you were to pick a
Sopranos.
TV show?
Sopranos.
Oh, okay, see?
Nothing can beat Sopranos. I don't care what you guys say. What
You guys
Lost.
say that now, but I've been watching Lost the last 2 days. And,
I don't want to get off the subject and talk about what you guys were talking about yesterday, but
No.
I was into Lost big time. I was into
Yeah.
it, but then it totally like went a different way, different direction, and I think at the point when they started bringing what was it, the polar bears
Oh.
into the
Yeah.
jungle or whatever.
Season three.
I was like, what the hell is going on right now? And I kind of like got off of it after that.
Yeah.
I probably should get back into it just to check it out. You guys say it's excellent.
I mean, you gotta
man.
give it a little time to kind of pick up.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about that. It was a writer's strike at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that another
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's good. What do you got, John?
You know what? I tend to steer towards it's either one or two things for me. I'm not really big on action movies. I like movies with some action, but I need that drama in there too, or a good storyline.
Mhm.
But you know me, I do like Star Wars and the Harry Potters and the Lord of the Rings and all that, The Hobbit. But one that I actually forgot about, and good character, good actor. I actually told my girlfriend to watch it recently. She didn't really get it at first. She said she watched it again and it was a lot better. But Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Yes.
And I don't know if that was big in the box. I have no idea, but I know I just remember watching it again. And man, it's just creative. It's so good, dude. And he plays that character really well, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like that movie too. That was a good one.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for something out of the norm, you're kind of bored, and it's not that long either. It's an hour and 40 at the most. And you know, it's actually a really good movie, man. Well made too.
Sorry, guys, I had to plug in my laptop before I lost everything.
Ah.
No, yeah, it's a good movie. I think Keanu Reeves doesn't get enough credit. He's always like highly criticized, and he doesn't get enough credit for like some of the roles that he pulls off, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a good movie, man. It's the special effects is pretty cool in it.
Yes. I still say to this day, there's a lot of movies where the directors and producers, they depict hell in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
That one is the most impressive. Like, you want to know what hell looks like? That is scary enough for me right there.
What about Devil's Advocate though? What do you guys think about that?
I like that movie.
I did too.
It's just certain characters in certain movies destroy it for me. Where it's like, oh, this annoying.
What's it for you in that one?
His wife, his blonde-headed wife, the one.
Charlize.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Really?
She killed it for me, man. Like every time she talked, and after seeing it the first time and going through it like real well, like watching it really closely, trying to watch it again, I can't with her yapping. I can't, dude. Even though she didn't really have that huge of a role, I just, for some reason, it turns me off. You know?
So speaking of special effects,
but very good movie though.
Devil's Advocate.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about special effects and like early on, you know, because you watch movies from back in the day, like sometimes you're like, you could see it's bull crap, you know, the effects. The Cell.
The Cell. What is that one?
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Oh, this is that one early 2000s. It's really weird, right? Like they get into the computer.
The guy's head.
Like
No. They get into the serial killer's brain.
Whoa. I've seen like glimpses, like just 5 minutes here, 10 minutes. Dude,
you have to watch that movie because what it is like, so basically there's a serial killer who hid like a victim. And what happens is she's like a psychologist.
Okay.
It came out in 2000, right on the dot. So they connect her brain to his brain. He's like in a coma or something.
Yeah.
and they're trying to find the girl's body before she dies.
Okay.
The girl before she dies. So when she's in his brain, the visual effects of it is like she's meeting all of his different personalities.
Oh.
Because he's a schizophrenic, right?
Okay.
Something like that. And dude, it's the whole point of it is to find the little boy that is his personality when he was a little kid before he turned into a monster.
Okay. All right. I get you.
And the personalities that are depicted, they are fucking insane, bro. Like dude.
I saw a part where Jennifer Lopez is dressed up all in red.
Yeah.
Weird looking, like makeup on and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about, but it was just weird. I remember seeing that scene going, whoa, what is this about?
So for people,
when it first came out, but I really don't remember too much about it. I mean, we're talking about 20 years ago, you know?
The Cell.
The Cell.
All right.
And for people that are listening that are interested in it, just make sure your kids are asleep if you have kids, because it's not one of those movies that you'd want to watch around kids. It's still kind of disturbing to watch as an adult, and it's kind of just showing this guy as like a monster. And I'm thinking of a movie right now, and maybe you guys could help me with the name of it. That's kind of about multiple personalities, and it's
recent or older?
No, it's older. And the guy, it's 7 people stuck at a hotel. They can't leave the hotel because the weather's so damn bad. And damn it, man.
You remember that?
John Cusack's in it.
Is it? Wait a minute. Are you talking about the? It's not a horror, is it? Horror film?
Not fully. Let me look it up, man. I'm sorry for the.
It's not that.
Identity.
Oh, wait. Someone in that room did something, right? They killed somebody or something like that. Like a crime went on.
People are ending up dead at the hotel.
Okay.
Ray Liotta's.
Yeah, Ray Liotta's in it.
Yeah.
The crazy thing, I'm not going to give anything away because you guys need to watch this movie. This is like one you have to watch. There's a sick twist at the end where you just like you weren't even expecting it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give it away, but Identity is another one. I'm going to stop right there.
All right.
Because I didn't have that on my list. It just came to my, it's relatable to The Cell. It's relatable to, what else did we talk about? It's kind of has that same feeling as serial killer type thing. You got to watch it. It's
like a puzzle. It's like a movie puzzle. Like you're trying to figure it out, and every time you do, something turns, and you're like, damn, that's not it. You know.
What you're trying to figure out isn't even like relevant. Like that's the whole. It's crazy. It's insane. So it has a really good twist at the end. And I'm going to talk about another one, but I want to give you guys a chance to bring up some other ones because these ones keep popping in my head that aren't on my list.
Okay. Maurice, anything else you think?
I mean, I have a list of movies. I mean, there's so many movies, but I'm not going to say they're classics or greats. They're just entertaining, you know?
Well, just give us any movie that you could think of that's worthy of, like, people should stop and actually sit and watch this movie, whatever you're thinking of.
I mean, do you want me to give you my top movie, my favorite movie, or?
Sure, why not?
Will already knows this one. Tombstone. Tombstone's
a very good movie.
Yeah, by far.
Good actors.
Forgive me if I don't shake hands.
Yeah, you were telling me about that shirt.
So there was a shirt on Facebook with Dog Holiday. It's a picture of Dog Holiday. On the bottom it said, "Forgive me if I don't shake hands because of the pandemic."
Yeah, to release that shirt too.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that movie by far. And I remember when I seen it, it came out in like 1993, 92, around then. And I remember, I mean, I was young then. My mom forced me to go watch it. And I was being a little, asshole. I didn't want to go. So I was fighting with it the whole time. I'm like, okay, if I go, I'm not going to even watch it. I'm going to cover my face the whole time. And as soon as it started, I was just watching it like this the whole And it became my favorite movie after that. I swear. Such a story, true story too. I mean, based on true story.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's not as accurate as the movie, but
Now, let's just you like Tombstone because you like the characters, correct? It's
correct.
it's
Yeah,
just,
there's.
okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Wyatt Earp?
I did.
Where Kevin Costner plays
I
it?
did. I didn't care for it as much.
You know what, man?
Mhm.
It makes me think of Wyatt Earp a different way because they tell his story and yeah, man.
Trying to do in that movie.
I didn't like the character that they cast for Doc Holliday though. He was okay, but he's not the right guy for that.
Yeah. What's his name?
Randy Quaid.
Yeah, Quaid. Yeah.
Yeah. It's either Randy or the other one, Dennis Quaid.
No, I think Dennis Quaid is more familiar, like for me visually. I never even heard of Randy Quaid.
Randy's he's in a lot of movies. I just
is he?
You know, Christmas Vacation. He's the idiot uncle, the idiot cousin that comes
by. Oh, is that him?
Yeah, they're brothers. Him? Yeah.
Did that Wyatt Earp, that came out after Tombstone, right?
I believe so, because I don't even think there was any kind of nobody wanted to know, like nobody ever thought about making anything about it. But once they made Tombstone and it got popular, they made Wyatt Earp. But Wyatt Earp wasn't one of those movies like legendary. It's kind of like almost has that Hallmark Channel kind of feel. Yeah, but it's not Hallmark because he's killing people and he's a dick, you know.
I think they tried to portray him in that movie more bad, right? Or no? Am I wrong?
He was just a serious, no BSer, like no means no, and I dare you, kind of thing.
Which was, I mean, it was probably more accurate.
Yeah, because
I'm sure
he
was a marshal or whatever it was, sheriff or whatever.
Yeah, some say he's good,
Yeah,
in real life.
Some of those interactions in the movie where he puts the law in where no guns, he takes away everybody, and then there's people that come in, and he gets word that they have guns, and the interactions, like he goes up to them, asks them nicely, but he's not jovial, he's not happy, he's just like firm. And once they try to play it off like, what are you talking about? No, don't worry about it, whatever. You see he gets mad, but it's, I don't know, the character kind of changes all of a sudden. Like he turns into, that hero, kind of takes it away and da-da-da. And then right away, he goes back to talking to his friends, his brother or brothers, and the other characters. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. If anybody didn't see it, I mean, I don't even think we discussed what it was about, right?
What, Wyatt Earp?
No, yeah, well, the movie, if they don't know, it's about that famous gunfight at the OK Corral. What led up to it and what happened after, pretty much.
Yeah, he was one of those famous law guys back in the day, marshals, sheriffs that fought against those cowboys, the vigilantes, and all that. So, yeah, I thought it was really good. But Tombstone in general, like, it just rounds out the whole picture a little bit better. Those actors are so good that you give them a couple. Oh man,
I mean, Val Kilmer.
Oh, he was great, man.
Great.
Oh, what happened to that guy, man?
Yeah, man, he got sick, didn't he?
I don't know.
He's Batman.
He got sick in time. I mean, we're talking about 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, what did he didn't come out with anything after that, did he? Except for Heat. Did Heat come out after Tombstone?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was probably around the same time, but he wasn't, like, I don't remember Val Kilmer for Heat. I would say, if anything, Batman or Tombstone, just because they were advertised as such,
Yeah.
There's probably something we're forgetting, but I remember back in the day when me and my brother were kids, we were watching HBO, just flipping channels, and there was a old movie where Val Kilmer's in it, and he's young, man. He's like 20 years old or something. Mm-hmm. I forgot what the movie's called, but it's actually really funny. Like, they're students in the school, and they raise some havoc and stuff. And
I remember which one you're talking about. I forgot what it's called.
I can't remember either, but that's okay. It's all right movie. Nothing too special.
Yeah.
Just weird to see. Oh, he's been in Top Gun. He's Iceman, right?
Yeah, that's right.
He was the Iceman.
Yeah, I can't believe we forgot about that.
Yeah. Okay, my turn, right?
Yeah.
All right. I just thought of another movie where you're more on the, I'm not going to say horror, but you get that suspense feel in this movie, and it makes you think. You start changing your mind every 2 seconds, and then when that plot twist comes in at the end, you're like, no way. And Will turned me on to this movie a while back, and I didn't even think about it, but The Number 23 with
Oh
Jim
yeah,
Carrey.
Okay.
That was a really good movie, man.
yeah.
And if you're in that mood where you just want to chill and watch something where it kind of tickles the brain a little bit, that one's excellent. And Jim Carrey, he plays so many different kinds of characters, man. He could be the funny guy, the serious guy. This guy was, I don't know, man, off the charts. I love that movie.
That guy.
Huh?
Have you seen him lately? What's up with that guy?
Dude, I like his change of perspective on things these days, man. He's all like artsy and shit.
he's done it all, dude.
Yeah,
Think
dude.
about it. He's done it for such a long time. Like,
Living Color. I remember in Living Color.
it was him and like Tom Hanks. They were like the most used slash highest paid actors if they were in a film for a certain amount of time, like that 5 to 10 year period. Ace Ventura's and the Truman Show and this one and that one. Then he did The Grinch. You know how much he made for The Grinch? It was like $40 million.
Wow. That's
Hey,
funny,
Maurice,
man.
Maurice. Oh, you're asking like what's up with him? Like you haven't seen him lately, or what's up with him
I've
because
seen
he's
him.
like
I just-
weird now?
Yeah, he's just different from what I remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did that one too. What's that one where he was doing Andy Kaufman?
Man on the Moon.
Man on the
That
Moon.
was good.
I like that movie a lot.
Very good.
No. Actually, I didn't even watch that movie. You know what I watched was the making of it.
Oh,
Have you seen it?
I
Dude,
think
you remember what's his name? The guy, the king in pro wrestling, John. Larry
Jerry
the King Lawler.
Yeah.
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 He's in the movie, and when they were filming, he wouldn't break character. Jim Carrey would never break character. He's going in his trailer. He's acting like cough the whole time. The whole time they were filming that movie, he was in character. It was irritating all the staff. They were getting fed up with his shit, and they made a whole documentary on it. You know. And
I don't care. He played that role perfect.
the King Lawler fucking like seriously smacked him, dude.
Oh yeah. He did it in
Like,
real life too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He wouldn't break it.
Well,
Yeah, so
for I don't know if they tell you the backstory behind it, but I read into a little bit because I like wrestling. I like all that stuff that happened in the late '80s, early '90s. I know a lot about it. I've watched all those WrestleManias and the behind the stories and all that kind of stuff. And Jerry the King Lawler, well, Andy Kaufman went to one of the shows and saw him, and when they were backstage, they were talking, and he was goofing around a little bit. And he thought, who better to do this with than someone that's professional at being irritated or irritating, you know, and can give it to you and do it well enough where you're not going to get hurt. You know what I mean? So they went back and forth and they talked about it, but going through it, Jim Carrey, whatever the guy, I forgot, Andy Kaufman, he pushed it. He kept pushing and pushing where Lawler didn't know what to do. So he's just like, okay, then I'm going to treat you like all the other wrestlers, just smack. And when he hit him hard, dude.
okay.
There was other times where they scuffled and dude, he was getting punches in.
This is what I'm talking about. Not Andy Kaufman. Jim
Carrey,
irritated him off the camera
sure.
so bad that he got pissed at him, and people were holding him, fucking trying to keep him from beating the shit out of him, bro. Like, he was totally in role, dude.
And you know, Jerry the King Lawler, he's known to be one of those people that doesn't like any kind of like
goofy
assholes, shit. You know what I mean, or people that are causing, you know, whatever. Anytime you try to antagonize him, oh man, he doesn't like all the backroom talk in WWE is like he does not put up with that stuff, especially back in the heyday. Yeah. And Jerry the King Lawler was huge in like Memphis, that little area right there, wrestling. He was huge. He fought against Andre the Giant a couple times. That was like they sold out 60,000 tickets or something like that. with no advertising, just fucking flyers.
Yeah.
People followed that stuff back in the day. So when Andy Kaufman got in there and kind of brought it into TV, that was the whole purpose, to bring Jerry the King Lawler out a little bit, guys like Ric Flair, stuff like that, because they were all in that same general vicinity.
Right.
Where usually we didn't have, capabilities of text and stuff back in the day, so that's the only way they could actually get their name out there. Like, who the hell is this guy? Who's the king? Who's Ric Flair? And what's this wrestling about? And you actually,
it was all about like talk shows and shit. Like
yeah.
So I'm gonna bring one that's like totally off probably the radar. I think I probably talked to John about this one before years ago, but Memento. Have you seen it, John?
I remember seeing it once. It was a while back. It's one of those movies that it really makes you think. Kind of like an Inception kind of feel, but this one is it's not subject. It doesn't have those kind of special effects. It's not that kind of story. It's just the way they wrote that movie and the clues to figuring out what the hell is going on. You end up just sitting there going, wow, what is this all about?
Guy Pearce.
So I'm not gonna ruin it for you, Maurice, but Memento, in the beginning you're kind of watching it, every time a scene goes scene by scene, you're like, what the hell is going on, right? After a few scenes in, you realize the scenes are backwards. So imagine you're okay. You know how Pulp Fiction, you go from scene one or the last scene to scene 16 to scene 7 to scene 10, like how it jumps around like that, and you kind of put it together. This is going from like scene 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 4, all the way to scene 1.
So it's like you're watching the end of the movie going forward.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
But the reason it's doing that is because it's putting you into the same brain as the main character. The main character has brain trauma, and he forgets everything that happened after the brain trauma. He forgets it after like 20 minutes or 10 minutes. It randomly happens. Like he woke up from the brain trauma. 20 minutes later, he forgot what happened in that 20 minutes. 20 minutes after that, he forgot what happened in that 40 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's covered in tattoos of notes.
Okay.
To
help that sounds familiar.
Okay, yeah, it helps him try to figure out who murdered his wife when he got the brain trauma, because he can't remember. He can't remember anything.
Okay.
So for you to watch the whole movie backwards like that, it's putting you in the same mind frame because you don't know what the hell happened before either.
Yep.
Write this down.
Yeah. So Memento, like a picture, Memento.
I looked up the poster right now. It's Guy Pearce. I like Guy Pearce. He's in a couple good movies that I like.
Yeah, it's a great movie, man. You have to be patient with that movie, though. You have to be
I got
ready
right
to watch it. Well, I mean, I'm saying like you can't be multitasking watching that movie.
Yeah.
You have to like be completely invested in watching it when you watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotta check that out for sure.
What do you guys got? Anything else?
Maurice?
I got
anything off the top of your head?
Yeah, since you guys mentioned that one, because Guy Pearce, he's in Count of Monte Cristo. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Never seen.
No? It's with the.
I never even seen him in any other movies.
Really? He was in LA Confidential.
I remember that.
Good movie too. Really good movie. Kevin Spacey.
A little bit slower though. Slower.
Yeah, it is. But I think it was a good movie.
So Count of Monte Cristo.
Count of Monte Cristo. That's one of my favorites actually.
Cristo.
It's okay. You know the Alexander. What?
Count of Monte Cristo.
That's what I thought you said right now.
No, Count of Monte Cristo.
No.
Crystal.
I know Maurice said that. But Will, I thought I heard him say Crisco, and I'm like,
Will, show us what you wrote down right now. Did you write down Crisco?
It's all scratched off.
But Alexander
Monty wrong.
But what is that? Like a pirate movie, something like that?
Sort of. The two main actors. I forgot the guy's name. James. The guy that played Jesus in the Passion of the Christ.
Dude, I've only
I know what
seen
you're
him in
talking
the
about.
Passion of the Christ.
Okay,
that guy's
so
awesome.
he's in that movie.
Henry
Two
Cavill.
friends. Huh?
Henry Cavill. Or
Is
James
it?
Cavill, something like
James,
that.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. I forgot. But yeah, they're in it. They're like best friends in the movie. Yeah, it's kind of like it's like early 1800s France. They're sailors or whatever. Best friends. The other guy is like his friend is like I don't know what he does exactly, but he's rich. He has money, but he's envious of his poor friend. He's
Okay.
you know he's jealous of what he has. He has a girlfriend that the other guy loves too, that he wants. And I'm not gonna say too much. There's a lot to mention in the movie, but it's basically about betrayal and revenge. That's what the movie's about. Really good movie.
So it's like a
And
drama. It's
Crisco.
not so much adventure or
Yeah.
anything like that, right?
Yeah. What's that?
Not
I
so
said
much
and-
adventure, right?
No, there is. There's like some action scenes in there too.
All
Like
right.
sword fights and-
Huh?
Like sword fights and cannons and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, sword fights and stuff like that. When he
Muskets.
gets his revenge, or I'm not gonna say too much because, like I said, there's a lot to talk about that movie. But I would definitely recommend watching it. It's one of my I'd say top 5
Wow.
Wow.
for sure. Yeah, it's really good. I loved it.
Awesome. I know you guys watch. You've watched Star Wars before, right? Both of you guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. One movie that I really liked where there's a lot of people that say, like, I would say maybe even 50-50 where it's like and some people actually really like it, but Star Trek, the one that came out in 2009.
Never got into
I
it.
liked it, man. I liked it.
Did you watch the show though on TV?
I forget the show, man.
Okay.
I wasn't really a big fan of the show because of the low production value and stuff. But the actual movie with the high definition and all those graphics and the characters, you kind of know who Captain Kirk is, you know who Spock is, but watching that movie, they give you the backstory behind it, and it's actually really good, the story that they put in together to kind of bridge to the next Star Trek movie,
Are you
the one
talking-
right after.
The
Star
Next
Trek-
Generation.
I forgot which one, but the one that guy is in Wonder Woman, that same guy.
Yes.
That
Yes.
guy? Okay.
In 2009, it came out.
Okay.
Is that's a J.J. Abrams film, right? That was the guys that
I
made
believe
Lost,
so, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's the same direction company, that Bad Robot. That same
Yeah,
company.
it's
Yeah.
JJ. Yeah, they were interviewed on that. I
Yeah.
remember that came out like during the time, or they were making it while Lost was about to end around
Yeah.
that time.
I thought it was really good. If you're, I don't know. I watched the last Star Wars recently. I tuned into it just to kind of rewatch it because I did see it in the movie theaters. Very disappointed, especially watching it the second time.
The last Star Wars?
Yeah, the last one I
I
didn't like.
liked it, man.
Nah.
I did, man. I like Kylo Ren a lot as the.
Oh, I do too. But
Really?
bringing back the Emperor and having all that commotion.
But they were saying supposedly that was a clone of him, right?
Whatever.
That's what I was hearing.
It's his soul into whatever. I don't know. But they could have done. The whole feel of the movie is not Star Wars like. It's a little too. They added a little too much Disney in there.
Okay.
You could kind of,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Like I like that first one of the new ones. I forgot what it was called, where the girl's introduced and you have Han Solo and all that. That was
Rogue?
great, huh?
Is that the Rogue one?
No.
Oh.
Then there was The Last Jedi, and then there's Rise of Skywalker. I like that first one. That was pretty good. That second one I watched with my buddy Jabron at the movie theater. Wasn't too good, kind of disappointed, and then the last one was just really disappointing. Like the effects, yes, it's Star Wars, but I didn't like it as much as the older ones.
I like them all, man. All of them, every single one of them. The ones that came out earlier on, those 3, when it explains Darth Vader coming in or whatever.
Yeah.
Those were my least favorites.
Oh, okay.
You talking about episodes 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah.
Dude, I love episode 3, man.
Okay. Those are
Yeah,
my
I
least
love it.
favorites. I think because it was just coming off of the old Star Wars and then coming onto that, like trying to kind of, I guess, adjust to it. Maybe that's what I didn't really care for too much. I don't know. I mean, I still liked it though. But.
I'm on Will's side on those. Like I liked 1, 2, and 3. I still watch 1 and I don't know about 2, but 1 and 3, I definitely watch those a lot.
Yeah.
More often than the older ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I gotta check it out again.
It's the music and the backstory. Like we've had our fill of Luke Skywalker and Leia and all that, but you don't really see Anakin and all the stuff that he does and Obi-Wan when he's young. It's Yoda, comes and fights. You don't see Yoda fighting in the old ones.
Yeah.
Those are awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like one actor where I feel like there's probably a couple, man, but between Denzel Washington and Leonardo DiCaprio lately, Leonardo DiCaprio, like whenever they come out with a movie, I'm like, I tend to like the movie for some reason.
You have to watch it. It's like you got to.
Dude, but one underrated Denzel Washington movie I was looking at in my collection was Man on Fire. It was like a remake from I think the 70s or something like that. Have you seen that?
You really think that was underrated? I don't think so.
What, Man on Fire?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great movie.
I'm talking about for a Denzel Washington movie. Like if you were to put like Man on Fire, Training Day, American Gangster, like all these movies he made, like Man on Fire, like people don't talk about it as much as like Training Day or you know what I'm saying? Like it's underrated for one of his films,
Right. But when you say Denzel Washington, that pops in my head right away. That's one of the movies.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but most people it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, So, John, have you seen that, John?
I have.
Yeah.
It didn't leave a big impression because you know what it is? Sometimes Denzel Washington, when he does like those heavy action movies and running around a lot, I don't like him in those movies. Like the one where he was fighting off the Russians, those newer ones, where he was killing everybody. He's really good with the hands, like Steven Seagal and all that. The Equalizer. I didn't like that much.
I seen the first one. I see the second.
Man on Fire is not really like high action.
I like him in movies like
John Q.
Like Philadelphia.
John Q is fucking great, dude.
Yeah, like Philadelphia and that one where he's the drug lord. He's not doing Washington easy.
Yeah, American Gangster. Is he frozen?
Yeah, I think so.
Shit.
John, you there, buddy?
Okay, we'll talk until he comes back.
I should get a picture of that. He looks so right now.
I'm gonna take a picture of it. I don't know what happened. Okay, anyway, so we'll go on. So, yeah, I had Man on Fire. What else did I have? You know what? Let's pause it, and I'll try to get it back going, and then I'll splice the videos together. So let me stop the recording.
Okay.
Okay, we're back after we got in touch with John again. We had some technical difficulties. So we were talking about Man on Fire.
Yes.
So moving on. What else you guys got?
Anything off the top of your head, Maurice? While I'm thinking.
Again, not a class. Oh well, yeah, it's kind of a classic. It's a comedy. I don't know if you ever seen that. It's called Brewster's Millions.
Richard Pryor.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's another one of my my classic comedies. Really, really good movie.
It's good. Richard Pryor is not really known for. Maybe he is, but not to me as being a movie star. But that one, he played really like he was acting really good, doing his, eccentricities and all that. And it's a good movie, good story too.
Yeah.
What is it? He has to spend $1 million in one day, right?
30 million in 30 days, I think.
Oh.
I think that's what it was, and able to inherit his his late uncle's fortune. It was like 500 million or 300
Yeah.
or something. But there
I'm
was
up
like
for the
there was
challenge.
rules though. There was rules like he couldn't donate it all to charity. He couldn't, I think, buy it all on one thing or something. Like it was funny just the way things worked out. Like
Maybe $1 million a day or something like that, right?
something like that. Yeah, something like that. But he would always ended up screwing himself. Like he'd invested like the worst stocks, and then he ended up making like a shitload of money. And it was just funny. You gotta check it out.
I thought of one movie and it just escaped me right now, but I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. It was critically acclaimed. A lot of good actors in there. Good story too. A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore.
Yeah, it's been a
The
while.
military, right?
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me personally, I like it not just because of the story, but the acting. Like those final scenes where you see Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise yelling at each other. It's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while though, but that's a good movie.
Yep.
What other one? What do you got, Will?
There's two that for me are kind of on the same level, in that they give me the same feeling. I really like these types of movies. Is Gladiator and Braveheart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Call me cliche. I don't give a shit, man. I love fucking Braveheart.
Yeah.
I don't care how fucking long it is. That movie is fucking awesome, dude.
I love Mel Gibson too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't care what happened to him in his his personal life, but I think he's a great actor. One of the best, I think.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I liked Mel Gibson in that movie Payback, where I forgot who the evil character, Chris Christopherson or something like that, and they're just going back and forth, and he's trying to save his son or whatever, and that's an awesome movie. But those that you just mentioned, my cousin Hanna, who you guys know, he loves Gladiator to this day. I tried rewatching it again. It's a great movie. Good actors. You have Joaquin Phoenix in there when he's young, you know. And if Julius Caesar was that sick, he played it really well, man.
Yeah.
He did it really good.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
It
Yeah,
was evolutionary or whatever. Back when did it come out? 95? To have those kind of like you had that lion in the pit fight or the tigers in the pit.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah.
You didn't really see much of that.
I think it was more recent than 95 though, no?
Let me look it up.
95 or 96, something around those days.
We're talking about Gladiator, right?
Gladiator. Yeah. I could have sworn it was like 2000. Early 2000.
No way.
We'll see. Will, you're looking it up, right?
2000, man.
Oh, is it? Wow. Okay, I'm wrong.
I was gonna say that doesn't seem like a 90s movie, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see, Braveheart, man. I to be honest, man.
90s.
Yeah, definitely. But Braveheart, man, 95, dude. Like Braveheart, till this day, I could, if I have enough time to sit there and watch the whole movie, I could watch that movie over and over and over. That movie is fucking awesome, dude.
I remember watching it when I was younger when it first came out, and it really got to me. Like some scene like when they were cutting him up at the end, and I think when he walked into that cabin or whatever, the kids were, was it the kids hanging or something like that?
Yeah, when no, that's Gladiator.
No. Am I confusing the two?
That happened in Gladiator when his kid and his wife got hung up. But you're right. There was a scene when he was a kid and he walked into the cabin and everybody was hanging in Braveheart.
Okay, yeah.
Like
I just remember that got to me when I was young. Like, damn, that sucks, man.
Dude, the best is when he
or whatever his wife.
He first puts on the makeup and that his eyes, how he looks like in Lethal Weapon, like the same look in his eyes.
Yeah, that was a great movie, man. Well, even the music got to me in it.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson's the shit, bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I can't think of anything too. I mean, there's a movie out there that me and Will have seen. We've talked about it a couple times, which is really good, but you have to be invested into it. Like, you got to really try to watch it. Is There Will Be Blood
Yeah.
with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Uh-huh.
Good movie.
Okay.
Just the story's a little bit.
It's weird.
It's odd.
I mean, it's not.
It's odd.
It's like, yeah, you have to be in the mood for that movie, man.
I actually heard that was a great movie. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was a great movie.
Because of the acting.
Uh-huh.
The actor, he's done it all. He's won all those awards, and you name it. He played Lincoln, Gangs of New York. He was the butcher.
Gangs of New York, yeah.
You know, that guy's good, man.
He's an old. He was from he was acting from like the early '80s too, right? I mean, I remember.
I think so, but I don't know what he played in exactly. But he's just when he plays that serious role, like I remember when people like you would see it on Entertainment Tonight or on the news, like they would just be talking about There Will Be Blood, and I'm like, wow, this movie's still in the theater. Let me see if I can catch it. I try to find it on the internet. And man, after I did watch it, I was like, wow, this is the first time I've ever seen a movie where it changes your perspective on what a good movie should be. Like, make you think, and wow, that's acting right there. Like, that guy made me feel his pain. You felt what he was thinking. And the kid, his deaf son or whatever, stepson or whatever.
Don't give too much away because I'm probably going to watch that tonight, though, because I've been watching. Just forgot.
The scene at the end when he goes and confronts his dad and tell him that he's getting married, that whole scene right there, like it gets you right in the chest right there. It gets you. So I don't know. I've
seen it. I've seen it one time, and I don't know, man. It was good, but I wasn't like it. I don't think I'm gonna go watch it again.
It's not one of those you could. Oh, it's on right now. I'm halfway through it. Let me watch it. No. You can watch it maybe once, twice. That's it. You'll remember it. You won't forget those scenes.
Yeah.
Because they were very in depth. They really put a focus on each and every scene, especially any of the ones with the main character in there. Like you get a feel for the character after about 10, 15 minutes. You start understanding what they're driving at.
Right.
Okay.
It's not a mystery or anything like that. They're telling a story, and what a good story, man. Odd but good.
Okay. Definitely check it out. I'll probably check it out tonight.
Yeah.
I just want to name a couple classics before we end off. The Outsiders.
Yes, that's another one of mine. Yes.
That movie's always like it reminds. That's that movie I could watch and like be like, I remember the first time I saw that, where I was sitting and all that stuff. That was one of those movies.
Yeah.
There's The Outsiders. There's American History X.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a good movie. Yes.
Blood Diamond.
Okay.
With Leonardo DiCaprio and Fallen. Speaking of Denzel Washington.
Falling.
Fallen.
Fallen.
The one with John Goodman.
I believe so. It's the one where the guy's in prison and he's whistling "Time Is on Your Side" from the Rolling Stones. Like that's the theme song of the movie. And it's basically about a soul or a demon spirit.
Was in that one, yeah.
Yeah, that basically was living in this serial killer that got him to kill all these people. And then when he's going to the electric chair, the spirit leaves his body and then goes into someone else's body.
Wow.
And then goes into someone else's body. And Denzel Washington's like the cop, and he figures out that it's a demon. And he's basically chasing around trying to figure out where the spirit is hiding at certain times in the movie. It's a really good movie, man.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid as hell, like me describing it, but it's one of those movies you got to watch it to appreciate it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got.
You know? I got one. I got the one that I'm surprised nobody mentioned yet. The Town.
The Town.
The Town. Ben Affleck.
I've never seen that.
Oh my God, that's a classic.
That's with Joaquin Phoenix too, right?
No, I don't think he's in that. The guy from I forgot his name, but the guy from the Avengers, the Arrow guy, he's in it. He's another main character.
Yeah.
You don't remember like they're robbing a bank and they have the nun masks on?
All right. Yes, I do remember
That
now.
sounds familiar, but I've never seen the movie.
Oh my God, you have
There's
to watch
about
that.
four guys in that crew, right? There are 4 guys in that crew, or 5.
Honestly, I haven't seen it in a while. I just remember the 2, Ben Affleck and that other guy.
Yeah, I do remember that movie. I didn't see the whole thing, but I did catch the part where they got caught, and it was good. It was good. Very intense.
That's a classic. I don't care
Very
what it
intense.
says, it's a classic.
Yes.
Watch it. Watch the whole thing again if you can tonight, and let me know what you guys think. Honestly, that's a great movie.
All right. Have you guys seen Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler?
Yes.
I saw it yesterday, bro.
What'd you think?
The rest of my day, like I went to the market after, had to get some avocado, stuff like that, bro. It felt weird. Like I felt weird after that movie. Like, wow, like just like an eerie, weird feeling after it. Just like you think, oh, dude, he did it. And,
yeah, the ending just.
Oh my God.
You seen it, Will?
No.
Okay, another one you gotta watch.
Adam Sandler is
that
awesome.
the new one that just came out?
Yeah.
Where he has the beard?
Yeah.
He has it's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Is it like a Netflix original?
Netflix
I think
movie.
it is, right?
Oh,
It
shit.
is.
Okay. All right.
When the movie starts, you have the big N.
Yeah. Okay.
Goes into the movie. That chick in that movie is hot, man. I don't know, but like
His
kind of like
girlfriend,
almost a butterface, his girlfriend, not his wife.
Almost a butterface.
Almost a butterface. But damn, dude, her ass.
She's
Oh my God.
I can't believe it's not Butterface.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good. That I used to be in the jewelry business. I liked watching it, like just.
Oh, is it? Wait, oh, it has to do with jewels and
He's a jeweler. He's a jeweler, and what kind of a person he is, that's the story. And you go through a couple days in the life of, I forgot his name.
What's his name? That Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett, right?
Yeah, Kevin Garnett's in it, and he plays a pretty big role in there too. It's a good role.
So another one is, I forgot the name of the main actor, but I know Al Pacino's in it. The Recruit.
The Recruit.
The Recruit. Now it's him, and there's one other character in that movie, right?
I forgot that. Let me look it up. So The Recruit is about the CIA recruiting this young guy.
It's that guy from Silver Linings Playbook, the main character, right?
Oh, that's not him.
Oh no, Matthew McConaughey. It's him and Matthew McConaughey with the pill. No? Okay.
No, Colin Farrell.
Oh, it's that movie. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Him and Al Pacino.
Gotcha.
And so he recruits Colin Farrell because I guess his dad or something used to be part of the CIA, but Colin Farrell doesn't know because he's in the CIA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he recruits him. Doesn't tell him his dad's in it or whatever. He was in it before he died, you know? A lot of shiesty shit happens in the CIA. So it's one of those like movies that like it has a twist at the end too. Like where it's kind of like he's getting like there's a part where he gets tortured and he's been through so much training, like he's actually under the impression he's actually going through a training process while he's being tortured. Like he thinks he's actually being trained, but he's actually being tortured by Russians.
Okay.
It's one of those movies.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Colin Farrell. I just didn't remember Al Pacino was in that movie.
Al Pacino's the guy that recruits him.
Yeah,
he's like one of the head.
Like the boss.
Head
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so there's that one. So The Recruit's good, and can't pass up Straight Outta Compton. But see, movies like Straight Outta Compton, like you had to be someone that knows about NWA and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's an appreciation that goes into it. But
it's still like a good movie, though. Even if you don't, I think it was a movie.
It was really well made.
Yeah. That and Notorious, I think, were good.
Notorious was good, and Braveheart, City of God. Have you seen City of God?
What was in that?
It's a Brazilian movie.
I definitely didn't see it.
It's about it's in subtitles, and it's about the street gangs in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, okay.
fucking good, dude. If you could sit there and read, huh?
Recent or older?
That's older.
Older. What is it called again?
City of God. It's a Brazilian movie. It's made in Brazil. It's an independent film. It's good, man. It's you have to put up with the subtitles, but if you could do that, it's so worth watching it, man. There's like street gangs, drug movement, and drug dealing and all that stuff, and like feuding rivalries in the streets of Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy down there in Brazil, man. So if they're showing like realistic portrayals, it's gonna be a wicked movie. I'll tell you that much. Just the ghetto area of Brazil, it makes you cringe a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of? Sorry, I don't know where you go. You still had more, Will?
Which one?
Did you have more? No, I was gonna mention one really quick. That nobody.
No,
mentioned.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
You guys see Limitless?
That's the one I was talking about with the pill. They take the pill and you get.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
Matthew McConaughey's in that one, right?
No, not Matthew.
No?
The guy from The Hangover.
Hangover. Oh, it is from Silver Linings Playbook. Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
I don't know. But you know that guy? What's his name?
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good movie too.
It is a good movie. I've seen that one.
Actually.
I've seen that.
Yeah. You see it? Will?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, write that down.
What's it called again?
Limitless.
Limitless. You know that guy, the guy that's in that, he is like co-producer of the new Joker movie.
Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper?
No way.
Like they showed him in the making.
A lot of these actors nowadays are not just settling for movie roles anymore. Like they try to get
part of it.
That and be a part of bigger picture, kind of thing.
What'd you guys think of the new Joker?
Oh my God.
I liked it.
I've seen it so many times already.
I think it was amazing. I think Joaquin Phoenix did the best job as a Joker. I don't think he's my number one, but probably number two.
I'll put him top. I don't know. I'm looking at him at the best right now because he gave me a completely different perspective of just him as like an independent figure in a movie. But it's like the most realistic. Like you could actually see somebody.
Yeah, like the reason why he's laughing all the time is because he has a mental disorder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool how they did that.
Yeah, but Heath Ledger.
Number one.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah.
John's like, no.
John, he's not a good. Who's your number one, John?
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah. I mean,
but the thing is, I like the different kind of Joker. I like the happy-go-lucky Joker. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The one that makes you laugh. As Heath Ledger, no one's gonna do it better than he did. I get it, but I like Jack Nicholson's. I can't say he's better. I'd say if anything, they're two different movies and they're one and one.
Yeah.
They played the best Joker they could be in that movie.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because I fought with Will on this, I don't know how many times we discussed it. It's Heath Ledger did awesome, and you didn't know he had that in him. You know?
No, you didn't.
Yeah. It's just that like that scene where he's sitting in the precinct in the dark. And the cop comes in, Commissioner Gordon comes in, and he's like, if we're going to play games, I'm going to need a cup of coffee. And he goes out and he turns on the light, and then Batman slams his head into the table. That whole exchange he has with Batman in that scene, like, you could see the paint's almost completely off his face. There's no, like, extra... Here, we're going to make him look more like Joker. It's just like you see Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
But man, dude, that scene, dude, when he's talking and like they're racing trying to figure out who's where and, he's talking about how he's going to fuck with the minds of everybody. Like, about how he's trying to get like a uprising, like you know what I mean, in society.
Yeah.
Man, that fucking exchange is so sick, bro. Like he kills
really
it.
Makes you feel like he's insane. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, dude. What's his name? Joaquin Phoenix, dude.
He did great, man.
He's fucking amazing.
Maurice, on the you like the Joker. Did you like the feel of the movie, the way they filmed it? It was different.
It was very different. It was very
the music was different, all that kind of stuff, right?
I didn't think I was gonna like it. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I did.
That movie, There Will Be Blood, has that same kind of weird old school feeling.
Does it?
So when you watch that movie, I guarantee you're gonna like it, especially since you like the Joker, because they kind of centered around that one character and the way he acts, very intense, and the feelings behind it, plus that weird filming style with the music, and you hear that violin once in a while, you're like, what the hell is that? You know, it's odd, but it's really good. You'll like it. When you guys were talking about the Joker, that's all I could think of is like
the cello,
that picture, that the sound behind it. And you're like, There Will Be Blood it's very similar to that.
Okay. All right, definitely that tonight.
The cello in the Joker made like pretty much like topped off that movie. Like that's like the whipped cream on top. You know what I mean? So
that
good.
Cello or whatever violin or whatever they were using. Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't got anything else. What do you guys think of anything else?
Not right now.
Like, dude, like seriously, we talked about. I'm gonna tell you right now. Easily almost like 30 movies.
Yeah, there's so many more. I mean, we could go on forever.
There's so many more.
We didn't mention.
These are ones that are kind of off the beaten track a little bit, right? We were talking about
most of them, yeah. Most of them.
But there's so many more. I mean, John, you got me into The Hobbit. I never got into that. I thought, I wasn't gonna like it, but it was really good too.
I don't know how you would not like it if you loved Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I love Lord of the Rings.
So I knew for a fact you were gonna like it. It's just I can't believe you didn't try. Why not?
Is that on any?
Because of you, thank you.
Where could I watch that right now?
What, The Hobbit?
Yeah. Is it on Netflix or anything, or do I gotta go to my secret?
I think I paid for it on
your secret. Go to your secret.
Oh, how much was it on Amazon?
I think it was like $3.99 to rent it or something.
That's not bad. Like I just want to get a clean.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was gonna tell you that. Like, if you don't mind spending that extra $3 or $4, you're gonna get it crystal clean.
So how many Hobbits are there? There's 3 of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna watch.
They're long. They're long, just like.
They are. Yeah. It's just like Lord of the Rings. Each one was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch it. I'll watch the first one tonight.
But you'll see familiar characters, but you'll see it's a new story. It's one of those like Star Wars things where they go back in time and tell that story.
Yeah.
And it's funny how the movie starts. It starts where Lord of the Rings ended, or no, not Lord of the Rings. Like where Lord of the Rings starts, that's how the movie kind of ends right there. Like it's just weird. It's weird how it all ties together. You're like, wow, that was pretty clever right there.
If you like Lord of the Rings, you'll like The Hobbit for sure, 100%.
Okay.
Yes. And even more because the special effects are that much better.
Even better, right.
Tell me, that evil character in that movie, that white evil character, Maurice, come on, man. The looks on his face with the eyes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was badass. Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I'm just trying to dive into anything that looks appealing now, but I don't know. I was gonna mention one more, and I won't go too deep into it. You got to watch it to get the true story of it. But very good story, and it's actually around a real person that's actually an actor in mob movies. You guys might know him as Carmine, the boss from New York and Sopranos. This movie's called The Green Book. Now,
you mentioned that to me.
You guys should watch it just for the sake of it has that mob feel to it, but it's not a mob movie. Good story, racial, you could say in a sense, where there's black and white issues. It's in the 50s. But the main character, who's a very good actor, Viggo Mortensen, he was in The Lord of the Rings. He was Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. He's a bodyguard for this black guy that's a very good piano player. Now, I'm not going to give you the story because it's too much, but in the end, you find out that this guy, Viggo Mortensen, he's playing a character who was in real life that actor that plays Carmine in The Sopranos. He was actually a bodyguard for the mob back in the days. And his story, like when you see at the end and they show his picture and they tell a little story. You kind of read it at the end of the movie. You're like, wow, that's so awesome. I can't believe it's true, you know? Good movie, though. You feel for it. It's a good feelings kind of movie.
Yeah. I remember I seen it on somewhere, and I remember you mentioned it to me, but I'm like,
It's
no.
If you're expecting action and all that, no.
No,
But you want a good story, it's a good movie. It won a lot of awards, too. The Green Book.
Yeah, it brought a movie to mind real quick. And it connected to the main character from The Lord of the Rings. Green Street Hooligans.
Oh, that's okay. That's the one with the soccer and all that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Green Street Hooligans.
What kind of genre is it?
Well, this kid, the guy who plays what's his name, John?
Frodo.
Yeah, what's the guy actor's name?
Elijah Wood?
Yeah. He's a college student. He gets in trouble, and his sister lives in England, and so he goes out there, and he meets his sister's boyfriend's brother, who's like he's like a badass, you know. He's the main character in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that's him, John?
No. I thinking of it now, it's like, okay, it makes sense. I can see it now.
That's him when he was younger, and he's like a tough guy in England. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he starts bringing him out, and he starts Elijah Wood starts talking to him about baseball, and he's like laughing in his face like baseball, you know, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So he takes him to a soccer game, and he notices like these soccer clubs have like fucking gangs, dude. Like they fight after the fucking game, you know? So as the movie goes on, it like toughens Elijah Wood up, you know what I mean? Like he starts like, it's more than just soccer. It's like you're going the streets. You're like a part of this club, and this club like meeting in the streets to fight because traditionally those clubs are supposed to hate each other, like the soccer clubs, you know.
Yeah.
So it gets really personal. There's really sad moment, you know, in the movie toward the end. I'm not going to talk about it. You should watch it. It's one of those movies where you don't have to think too much about it. Just like sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's an independent film. Right.
I don't remember it being like a heavily
it's not a
advertised or
major.
anything
No.
like that. No.
Did you like it, John?
From what I remember, yes, I did like it. But more than I liked some of the other movies that you guys mentioned, no.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna go watch it again because I can't remember. I got the gist. It was good though. Like whoever came up with that story did a really good job. Like they tickled one of those little funny bones where, wow, you feel it. You feel for the character, you know?
Yeah. You should watch it, though, Maurice. It's worth watching.
Yeah, I got it on my list right now.
Yeah.
There's one more. You guys didn't mention either. What'd you guys think of The Irishman?
I loved it. Will I watch it again? Hell no, it's too long.
It's long, but I loved it.
But, brother, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I loved everything about it, man.
It was kind of sad seeing how old they are now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And them trying to play younger characters. That was like kind of weird though to me.
The thing is, like, I didn't like the way they killed Jimmy Hoffa. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm under the impression, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Hoffa with Jack Nicholson. The way they offed him in that movie, wow, brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way the mob does it. You know what I mean? Like, no better way. And this way, Jimmy Hoffa, like, the way Pacino played him that's how I remember Jimmy Hoffa. You know? He did good.
Yeah.
The whole movie was good. It's just very long. A lot of info.
Remember when Robert De Niro was beating up that guy?
Which part was it?
He did, I think, something to his daughter, or I forgot. And he brings him outside of the business, whatever it was, and he starts beating the shit out of him. You don't remember?
Why can't I remember that?
Oh my god, it was almost comedy. The way he was moving, like you could tell it was an old man. I think it was like supposed to be his younger self, like CGI'd or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was actually his body like doing it.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I'm remembering. Yes.
70, 80-year-old man. It looked like trying to beat somebody up, and
yeah.
just remember, like, God damn, they could have done so much better on that scene.
Well,
Yeah, but it's like, I know what you're talking. I think I remember the scene. I don't know if it had something to do with his daughter though, was it? They was just like he beat the shit out of some guy outside. He was like kicking him while he's on the ground, right?
Yeah. I thought it had
Like, but he was all stiff. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
Look up
that's how
the
every mafia guy kicks. The
No,
shit
this
out.
was bad. Look up a clip. Just go on YouTube when you get a chance and look up that clip. I'm sure it's up there because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's talking about it.
It's good seeing Al Pacino and Robert De Niro act together as friends. Because usually when you see, like, the first time I seen them acting together was Heat, and I heard that scene where have you guys seen Heat, right?
yeah.
That scene where they're sitting across from each other and talking in the diner, like, I heard it was spliced, like they weren't even sitting together because there was
those lines.
There was like a rumor that they didn't like each other.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
They played together in The Godfather. Well, not together, but they were in the same.
No, but that was the same thing. It was like a splice thing.
Yeah. I didn't know they didn't get along though.
I think now they do.
You know what? There's a if you go to if you look it up on YouTube, I've seen it. It was a very short thing, about 10 minutes long. They had like the 30 or 40th anniversary of The Godfather, or 50th anniversary, something along those lines, where they had all those actors back in the little room together sitting, and they're asking him questions, and they hinted on that thing like, we didn't get along, but we still did the best we could. And look at because De Niro supposedly was going for the Al Pacino role, or for Michael Corleone.
Sonny.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you're right.
It was supposed to be for Michael. Yeah. Then with Sonny, then they got James Caan. It was a better fit or something like that.
Yeah.
So then they kind of backtracked, and
it was kind of like, let's bring in like an old school Vito, and they were like, oh, remember that kid that was going for the Sonny role?
Something along those lines.
And
yeah.
It was Robert De Niro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought he did great in Godfather 2, man. Godfather 2.
Did great, man. It was good.
Like,
those movies are beautiful, man.
Except for part 3, that was the worst by far.
Part 3, you have to let it stand alone, man.
Yeah.
That's just how they waited too long. Mm-hmm. Godfather 1 and Godfather 2, I can't pick between the two, because for Godfather 2, I love the story more, where it was like back and forth and you see the old Italy and all that stuff. But Godfather 1, just because of Marlon Brando, bro, it's just...
That's my favorite one out of all the three. It is number one. It's not just the Marlon Brando, but all those characters together.
Yeah.
Like, even Fredo, which didn't have much in there, he played the feeble-minded brother. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm smart.
I actually read the book by Mario Puzo, the book.
Really? No way.
This thick, like a Bible.
Like a Bible.
Yeah, it is. I swear. I did a book report on it back in high school. It was really good because
just for the first one.
No, it mixed both of them together.
Oh,
so really? I guess when they did the movie, they split
it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Good. I liked it better than the movie. Swear to God. And I don't read at all. And I love that book.
You know, that actor that plays Fredo, my cousin Jack's really like a old movie buff. He likes those classical actors. He says that guy is very like well known and very, very good actor. Like he can play multiple different kind of personality roles and all that. I never knew that, but
a few other movies, but I just don't remember. I've seen them though for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't remember which ones.
But Marlon Brando. I mean, it's anytime you give a movie out and you kind of show like it's like an evolution. Like it starts off the boss, and then there's a new guy and his life. He has his wife now and all that stuff. Like I like how part 2 goes back in time, and you kind of see how it was a great addition, but that first part
Godfather
gives you a lot, man, and I tend to steer towards that one. Like anytime I'm going to watch Godfather, I'm going to watch part 1.
Yeah.
I might not watch the whole thing, but I'll watch part 1.
Sonny, he dies in part 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That scene, I just remember that scene. That was a great, like, when I first seen it, I was like, God.
Wicked, man. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
That's
Well,
it. So I think I'm gonna watch The Hobbit right when we hang up.
ooh,
You guys,
I
do you
might,
guys watch
I might do the
horror
same.
movies or no?
Huh?
You guys watch horror movies or no? You're not into them.
Not a big
Not a
fan,
Not a big fan.
Oh, okay, never mind.
except The Purge.
That's one thing I didn't get from my mom's side of the family. My mom, she'll give her the cheesiest horror movie, she'll enjoy it.
Really?
She loves it. All those scary, weird movies, she loves them. Especially
Yeah.
the religious ones, like those
Exorcist.
exorcism kind of feeling.
That's my favorite scary movie.
Exorcist was a classic, though, man.
That's my favorite. The Shining, another
The
great one.
Shining, I like that one.
Very
Maybe
You
it's
ever seen
because of
that
Jack
episode of
Nicholson, but
Anything Jack Nicholson you love, huh? Yeah, we know
You ever
this.
seen the episode of The Simpsons where the Scottish janitor is? It was a Halloween episode. Have you seen that,
have.
Maurice?
Plays Freddy Krueger or something.
No, where he's like, it's like a parody of The Shining in The Simpsons. It's a Scottish guy, and
Oh
he
yeah,
asks
yeah,
him,
okay, yeah.
he's
yeah,
on
I know
the
this there.
he's on the shinning.
I don't remember that
The
scene.
Scottish, the shinning,
The
like in a
shinning.
Scottish accent. I
Yeah.
can't do it. It's fucking hilarious.
I thought The Conjuring was great too. I don't know
The
if it was-
Conjuring.
I
Oh,
haven't seen
the
that.
evil nun. Nah, man.
No,
You know what I like?
No,
I
no,
was laughing in that movie. I was laughing.
No, that
in
one
movie.
sucked. The Nun. You're talking about The Nun. That one sucked, man.
That was part 2, I think.
I don't know what part it was, but The Conjuring, the first one that they came out with.
Yeah.
I swear to God, there was a scene in the theater that I almost looked away. I swear it scared the crap out of me.
Have you seen The Purge?
The Purge. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That'll give
John,
me
you gotta-
nightmares, man. I
No,
can't do
no,
that.
it's not even like that. It's not even
No,
like
it's
a
like-
horror thing.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Like,
You know what
Suspense.
scares me
Suspense.
about that movie? Is fucking random people out there going and having a full day to go just kill anybody and do whatever they want. That's a
cool.
fucking horror movie.
Did you hear about that cop in the Midwest or whatever during the pandemic?
No.
He had a siren on his car to let people know it was curfew.
yeah. I've seen that video or
It
something.
was the Purge siren, but the Purge got that siren from the military. That cop was in the military, so he didn't know. He never seen the Purge. So
Oh, he didn't see that. He didn't know. Oh, that's funny.
So he's scaring everybody.
That's funny.
because the siren goes off, letting people know lock up your shit. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's gonna be crime, you know. So they showed the video online, dude. I was dying. The car's driving through and it's all like
I seen that like a little clip of it, but I didn't know that the cop didn't know.
didn't know, bro.
I thought he did it like on purpose.
No, he
So
didn't
that's
know.
rough.
He never seen the movie.
Oh wow.
They were asking about it. It was a siren we used in the military, you know.
Yeah, that kind of stuff scares me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta watch, dude. The Purge, and the second one's good too. Maurice, have you seen the second
Yeah,
one?
That
I've
was
seen
like
all of them.
American Glory Days or something
No,
like
no, that was the third one. The
Oh.
political one,
that. Yeah.
the election day or whatever.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the third one. The second one was with that guy. Some dude was stuck out there or some shit. He was trying to get to somebody else. I forgot what. Like the first one is depiction of a family in the house.
Okay.
The second one is a depiction of what's going on out in the fucking
Outside,
street.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I like them, man. Well, I
Yeah.
might watch that too. Let me put that down.
You haven't seen none of them, John?
The Purge, no.
No.
It'll really stick with me. I don't want to watch it, dude. Like just that thought of that I'm gonna really be paranoid when I'm outside.
Well, hopefully we don't get to that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we actually gave a pretty good wide variety of different titles you guys can check out. I'm not sure what the next show is going to be about, but we'll definitely think about something. I was actually thinking of me and Will were talking about it, doing something about music, like maybe rock or rap or maybe
I'm
everything.
surprised you guys didn't already do something about music.
I know, right? We'll
That's
get
gonna
there.
be one to really. It's gonna be hard to constrict into an hour and a half show.
That could go on for days. That.
Yes.
Yeah. So
But Maurice, if you're down to be on the show,
Yep.
we'll definitely hit you up.
Yeah,
And
sure.
It was great having you on. Now,
Thank
we
you.
have a new sponsor to our show. It's Vape Envy. They're in Stanton, California. He actually provided me with this vape the other day, or about a month and a half ago. It's from this company called Smoke. And he has this killer juice that he sells at his shop that he's like the only guy that sells it in this general vicinity. So if you need it, go and get it. It's Vape Envy in Stanton, California. Anyways, thank you, Will. Thank you, Maurice.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Like, subscribe, comment. Please comment. Please comment. Please comment. We want to know what you guys think of the show. But anyways, we'll catch you on the next one.
See you guys.
Adios.